I can see the future. I can see FL Studio becoming the biggest thing on the planet. I can see guys getting record deals at home on dope mics and just getting paid. But right now it's 2004 and AKAI's got to get sold. So James O'Donnell gets the gig. He buys the company on the cheap because it's in a bankruptcy court and James Ting is in jail. Well, that's kind of cool. But one more thing, he wants to make it into a conglomeration. That's right, a bunch of companies under one umbrella. He's got to worry about Machine. Native Instrument is going to launch Machine, the hardware, in 2007. He's got to worry about the upcoming recession in 2008. He's going to worry about Roland and the SP404 and the other guys making small samplers. But the number one big problem is JJOS. You cannot have someone making a software that they can overshadow your software on your machine, like the MPC1000, the MPC2500. This has got to stop, and you've got to kill it. And the mission now is to kill it. Introducing the MPC500. That's right, this is the JJOS killer. That's going to kill JJOS. It's so small, can it get inside? The truth is, it does kill JJOS. JJOS is now on a boat somewhere just doing updates. Let's look at this JJOS killer. It's pretty cool. So in 2006, they launched the MPC500. It's pretty small and pretty tight. Buttons are very close, and you got to be careful. As you can see here, the Q link is pretty small. We got a fader and a one button for after. Then we got our record gain, minimum to maximum. And the same thing for our volume, minimum to maximum. Everything's very small, close together. But the monitor is ridiculously small. Probably the worst feature on here is this monitor. As you can see, the pad bank will always be in the upper right-hand corner. And you can see right here, the pads double as mode buttons, like it does on the MPC 1000. We have data here too as well. The biggest thing on here is our data wheel, which is cool. And we have a cursor, as always on MPC, you gotta have a cursor, up, down, left, or right. And you must have full level and 12 levels, in this case, as you can see right there. The buttons are close. You got to be careful when you're hitting a button. Now here we have the pad bank, A, B, C, D. Next we have tap tempo, note repeat, track mute, and status. Pretty easy to get to right there. Then there's mode, timing correct, metronome, and numeric. Now next we want to go over the main part, which is the sequencer and the track for the main. And we also have our parameters, and we want to erase and undo. That's important to be able to do that. Then we have shift. We can also locate any part of the sequence, and we got to have play start. And then we also have record, overdub, stop, and play. So everything's on here, but it's so tight on the right side, just got to be careful. Now the back here isn't so tight. We got the headphone right there at top. That's not bad. And next to the headphones, we have our output left and right. Put those in your speakers, keep your mains down, your main audio output. Then we have input for recording samples. We got line and we got mic. That's pretty cool. It works good. I've used it before. Not bad. We got a USB cable also. USB input right there. Then we have backlight off or on. It's the backlight in here so you can see what's going on in that monitor. Power. Then we have the DC in. And then we have our MIDI. Just one in, one out. And on the front of here, all this is a memory card. There's a slot right there, and to the right of it, a little button you push in to take out the memory card. Now the MPC 500 is used, and when you do find it, it may be modified. They may have put on some new pads or something to make it look cool, or they put a brand new case around the whole thing. I've seen this one before where it's a retro look and they got the Roger Lynn logo on the front, which is kind of cool. And I like this one too, actually, for the color it has. This one's also really cool with the gold plated-like look of the buttons and the knobs. And I like the way the sides are too, where they are different sides, but they're pretty hard and reinforced. This one as well. So you're gonna see many different kinds of them, but they're all used. Be aware of that. Check them out, make sure they're okay. Make sure you're not buying a used piece of junk. Make sure you're buying a quality piece of gear. Now, as far as my pros and cons, the pros are it is an MPC, and it's small enough to do everything an MPC can do. And I like it for that fact, that you can actually plug it in, take some samples, mess around with the samples, and plug them up. And say, okay, I want to use this, use that, or use this. My one drawback is, well, I got two drawbacks. I got a drawback that I think what's really bad is that the screen is so freaking small, and I can't get much out the screen as far as stuff I can do with the screen to help me navigate around and know I'm doing better. Also, there are too many pages. Now, they probably need all these pages, but when you go to look for something and you press those buttons to go back to, let's say, the page for mixer or the page for track mute or another page, sometimes you have to go through extra pages to get back to that page. So that can be kind of annoying sometimes. But if you know what you're doing and you've read the software book and you practice enough, you can work this machine with the manual. It's pretty easy, actually, but you get used to it over time. Now, let's take a look at the specs for this MPC500. So we have polyphony at 32 voices. The sampler is 16-bit at 44.1 kilohertz, and it's in stereo. We have analog audio, that's 2 balanced quarter-inch inputs for input and output. And we also have dynamic filtering with dynamic resonant low-pass filter. The memory is 16 megabytes, maxed out at 128. You can have up to 250 samples max in the machine. Of course, you've got the 12 soft pads, typical MPC pads. You can do 20 songs, and each song could have 250 steps. We can do 24 active programs, 99 sequences. A sequence can have 46 tracks. You got 100,000 note capacity, and it can use and work with 6 batteries. Awesome. So if you need any help trying to use the MPC500 or any MPC, look below in this video. You'll see a list of all the MPCs that I have an instructional video for. They cover everything and they're well done. We guarantee it. If you got a problem, just hit me up. We can help you with that too as well. So look, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be probably part 10, the MPC 5000.